I feel like Cardi B has taught me a lot. No, I'm not kidding. That's my queen. I feel like she's taught me what success looks like, what hustle looks like, what being authentically you can get you. But she also taught me a very harsh lesson about dating. And royalty, I want to deep dive that with you. So sit down, let's relax, let's have a conversation. So hi guys, if this is your first time here, my name is Carissa. Welcome to my channel. This is my good friend Alberto. He'll be joining us for all our videos. And if you are returning, babe, we're in love. I knew it. You didn't have to hide it. You clicked subscribe, so I knew we were together. So guys, for today's video, I want to talk about something that when I first thought about it, I was like, I'm being attacked. They're talking about me. I had to learn a hard lesson because I had to realize that my type was what was killing me in the dating atmosphere. Okay? And I had to see that looked back at me by one of my favorite celebrities of all time, Cardi B. Now, for those of you who haven't been living under a rock, you know that Cardi B has dated Offset, husband of her 3 beautiful kids. And then she moved very quickly on to Stefan Diggs, who is basically the control copy paste of Offset in a different font. And I think the internet was happy for her. I think we were all happy for her because we were all rooting for her. Rooting for you! We were all rooting for you! So we were all rooting for Cardi to find her happily ever after. Because I think after watching her get cheated on publicly, you know, taking Offset back so many different times, we wanted our girl to have a happy ending. I think that's so natural. You know, we are all looking for our happy endings. You have watched your friend get cheated on before and been like, babe, please, please leave him. He's trash. And when she finally leaves him, you're over the moon. And then she introduces you to the exact same man in a different name. And you're back at square one with Biffle. And I felt like that's where we were with Cardi. We all outside of the house were looking in, screaming at her to please recognize what she was walking into. Like, please, Cardi, you are going into more of the same thing. Don't do it, girl. Please leave this man alone. Yet, how many of us really need to look inside? Really need to look in the mirror at who we've been dating and the patterns we have chosen. It's so easy to pick out celebrities and be like, oh, they're doing this wrong, they've done that, because we don't know XYZ about them. So we think we have this imaginary person in our head of who they're supposed to be, how much more evolved they are, forgetting that they're regular people going through regular problems and having regular issues. So babe, you know, we could talk about Cardi and have the celebrity gossip, but we also need to talk about us. What patterns are we repeating in dating? You know, we are breaking up with new people and getting into the relationship with the same person. What is it about this pattern that is truly attracting us? What are we finding comfort in when it comes to this chaos? And that was something that I had to realize about myself, is that I really need to clean this spot. I know, I'm so sorry. Okay. That was something I really had to recognize about myself as I was re-entering the dating world, was not repeating my own damn patterns. I could not date my ex in a new color. It obviously wasn't going to work. And that took me, and I'm going to be very honest with you, 2 or 3 really bad, like, okay, I think this is gonna work, and then crash and burn situations to be like, holy crap, I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. And you realize eventually that your type is your trauma. Your type is what your nervous system is attracted to. Now, for some of us that grew up in beautiful, healthy homes, your nervous system might be attuned to calm and serenity and peace and conflict resolution. But for those of us that grew up in chaos and war, our nervous system is attuned to the chaoticism, the ups and downs, the make up to break up cycle that we've maybe experienced not only with past relationships, but with our family, things that we think are normal to us because we've grown up with them. We may even not realize that we find this normal until we really deep dive into our past relationships. So if I was gonna sit here and lie to you, I would tell you, oh, it took me, effortless amount of time to realize my trauma and realize I was attracted to men who made me anxious, men I had to care for, men I had to take care of, because that's what felt like control to me. And I think we see that in a lot of celebrities too, is we see their type. We see women who have gotten out of the hood, have raised themselves to elevated status, made money, made something of themselves, and still choose men that feel like home for them. I'm really not one to defend Nicki Minaj, but I also think she's another perfect example of this, because she went literally back to her hood and searched through the trash because that's where she felt comfortable. She went dumpster diving for her man because that's what her nervous system felt safe with. She didn't change it up. You see a lot of these beautiful, successful women date the same thing that the girl down the street could get from the hood. Like, girl, why are we dating him? He's everybody's man. He's anybody's man. When you are a woman of elevated class and you were dating the same thing because honestly, that's what they know. That's their history. That's what they're accustomed to. And breaking your cycle is not easy, because a lot of times you may not even be really attracted to things outside of your norm. It took me, it took me time to open my eyes outside of what I was used to, outside of what felt comfortable to me. I had to teach my body, teach my, preferences. Like, what you like isn't healthy. What you like is serving you none. So we have to try other flavors. You have to get accustomed to something else. You have to have exposure to other things. So if you were in the dating field, I would strongly recommend trying new flavors, babe. If you are a Black woman, date a white guy. Yeah, I said it. Black love's great, but so is swirl ice cream, okay? If you are Asian, girl, try a Black man. See where that gets you if it's not working out too well in your community. Try different things. And it's not just about race. Girl, you've been dating finance men your whole life. Try a nerd. I personally love them. There's so much out there besides your flavor. And I think that celebrities have taught us that when you repeat the same cycle, you're going to get the same thing. How many people were honestly surprised that Stefan Diggs cheated on our queen? Oh, not you either? Because we knew she picked the same thing. So instead of being harsh about celebrities and saying we are holier than thou and think we know everything, you need to take that same look at your life. Instead of gossiping about celebrities constantly, maybe it's time to take a look in the mirror and see what patterns you're repeating. What trauma are you continuously bringing into your own life because you're not doing the heavy duty work of self-examining yourself? Not only in relationships, but in patterns and habits. What are you constantly cycling through in life that you are not addressing? Ignorance is not bliss, okay? It is only going to bury you further under the sand. So if you're not willing to acknowledge your flaws, you're never going to be able to acknowledge your successes either. So royalty, if today's video is about nothing, it's about examining your patterns. Figure out where your weaknesses are. Figure out what your nervous system has made you feel is normal when it is truly not. All right, royalty. So if you made it to the end, if you made it to the end, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Baby, I make these for you, for us, for we. Okay, without you, there is no me. So make sure you join the family, because I want you here, babe. And if nobody else has told you, please don't forget, you are loved, you are cared for, and thought of. Oh, and if you made it this far, tell me if you like the name Alberto for the frog. Kai is not supportive of this name, but I think royalty we are. So leave in the comments whether you support or if you have a new name. Bye, guys.